Yo, I'm Terrell Lewis.
And I'm Cassandra Maria, and welcome to the Articul8 show.
The most raw and authentic chat show yet.
Definitely. Coming up, we have Real Talk, where we're going to be discussing a question raised by you, the public, with our lovely panel.
And our lovely street team, Kieran is going to hit the streets of Birmingham to see what the public have to say about the question.
We're then going to interview Kieran Frantic in our Get to Know section.
And then we're going to have some game time, sponsored by Smoking Bagels.
Smoking Bagels. And remember, guys, to please keep subscribing on YouTube and liking all of our socials on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. Articul8 everywhere.
But right now, let's get into Real Talk.
Welcome to Real Talk. This is the part of the show where we discuss a question raised by you guys at home, the public. On our lovely ladies panel, we have Becky, we have Cerise, and we have Shandy at the end.
And on the guys, we have Frantic, Tones, and Chakraman.
Yes, we're still going to do a drum roll, guys. So do you want a drum roll for the question? Come on. Get it going, get it going. Don't know how. It's coming. It's coming. Hey, it's here. Okay, so suicide rates are higher in men. Did you know this, and why do you think this is?
Did you know that?
I knew that.
Ladies first.
I didn't know that.
I actually did know that. But it's only, yeah.
Makes sense.
I think I would say, I didn't know this, but I would say that suicide rates are higher in men because we live in a very patriarchal society where men have to carry a certain persona in society, and I think even though we have to carry that persona, we still feel sadness, we still feel loss, we still feel emotions that people think are feminine, but because there's no platform for us to express it, there's a lot of men who, even though they're carrying that persona, are suffering with certain things on their own.
There's such a high expectation for men to be men, for men to be providers, for men to be strong. There's no allowance for us to feel pain, to feel sad, to feel loss, to feel all of the emotions that people would deem to be feminine.
Some men, get that stressed out with women, or say if they have a woman and she actually doesn't need him for anything, or
they're intimidated.
Yeah, they're kind of
It's emasculation.
Yes, you're demasculating a man.
But I think intimidation, that's fear in it. I think suicide is a mad, bold act. I don't think that's fearful at all.
I think
it depends.
I'm not trying to empower suicide, but I mean, it takes a certain level of brave, boldness.
It's the ultimate commitment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe you're just in such a bad. Well, you are obviously just in such a bad place that it makes you do that. So it's you feel like you've got no other choice. So whether you feel brave enough to do it or not, I'm guessing that you just everything else. It's just not enough for you to still be here. So
even still though,
that's the only option
so in terms of,
you're
I'm not a man, so I don't know. But I feel like it's more emotional for men because I mean, a lot of people might know someone or know of someone that has gone through that, and the people that I know close to me and in my family even are men that have taken their lives. And I think for me it's more when I look at what they were going through, it was more mental turmoil that was putting them in a position where they felt like everything that they was being exposed to on earth wasn't enough for them to feel satisfied in who they are. And I think that that's something that comes from wanting to be so much more as a man. As a man, you're supposed to be the big man, the breadwinner, the this, the that, the all this thing that you're expected to be. Who's there when you're emotional? Nobody really looks at a man and expects them to have breakdowns or be depressed. Or
that's why that's the
point.
That's
the point that I was talking about, because I find that when women are going through something, I live in a house full of women. When a woman's going through something quite deep, she phones all her friends, she phones her aunt, she phones her mum, she phones everybody. It comes out, But when a man's going through something that has a lot of depth and emotional weight, he tends to keep it to himself and deal with it with himself.
Oh, Jesus, the truth ain't trying to come out.
I wasn't really aware of like that particular statistic and all of that, but I'm not too surprised. And I think the way I'm gonna answer this might piss a couple people off, but I know I'm speaking the truth. Men, are more susceptible to suicide because y'all don't like to talk about shit. Y'all trying to think that y'all know everything. Y'all don't want to consult nobody. Y'all don't want to accept that you're wrong. Y'all don't want to accept that you need help. I'm not bashing anyone who's suicidal, but at the end of the day, if you are a mature adult, because we're all speaking about mature adults, if you're a mature adult, it's nothing about being macho. If you need help, homie, talk to somebody.
I definitely think it stems from the household and like the roles that your mum and your dad plays and what you see in your household. Because if in your household, like you said, you see your sisters and everybody, she goes to her mum, she goes to dad, everyone's got that support network around them. And when you see little boys and you're telling little boys, don't cry. Why are you crying?
Exactly.
Be a big boy. Do you know what I mean? You're a big boy now. Do you know what I mean? When you're putting those pressures on boys from those kind of ages, you have to expect them to grow up thinking that it's not okay to share this or to express certain emotions, and that's probably why it's
so there's stereotypical men pressures, there's stereotypical women pressures, but then why is it the men are choosing the ultimate final solution?
That's what I'm saying.
And the women don't.
Some women do though.
But more men seem.
More men.
I think it's just like Shaka Man was saying, the expression.
I think men have difficulty
expressing
themselves.
They do because
with the emotions. They're just a bit shaky.
Yeah, they're very enclosed.
Like guys are insecure in it, like, and for like things like rejection and that, or have to turn into like nonces and like paedophiles and shit like that. They can't live with obviously the guilt, so they'll just take suicide, and that's the only risk. Or maybe some guys can't take pressure on that, so the only way is suicide. Like obviously guys don't really open up to like people as like girls do. You know what I mean? They kind of see it as like a non-manly thing. So I guess that's why.
I feel like a lot of women will, if their man acts a certain way, they might call him weak for acting. Do you know what I mean? Do we women do that?
I wouldn't. I
that?
Absolutely wouldn't. I don't have a man. I'm single. But if I did, and he was going through anything, I'd want him to come to me and be like, "Listen, I'm going through this," because at the end of the day, if you're my man and we're together, we're a partnership. Like we're in whatever situation you're in, we're in together. If you're down and I'm up, you're up, boo. Like, it's cool, you get me, I got you. Because if I'm down and you're up, I'm expecting you to put me on as well. You know what I mean?
Certain situations, though.
Yeah, but say the thing with that is, like, we're going off one narrative where we're saying, like, suicide is just because people are depressed or in bad situations. People can kill themselves for different reasons.
So what's
like, a man can end it because he's got too much debt, either in the real world or on the road, and he can't handle that debt, a situation he can't get out of. That isn't a crack that's been, it's a crack that's been billing, but I might not be able to talk to you about that. I might not be able to say to you, B, I'm in debt, so I can't even handle the mortgage.
Why would he be able to?
Because
that's something.
Because as a man, not because of society, because as a man, my natural instinct is I want to provide. You see what I'm trying to say?
So as women,
that's you then. The turmoil comes from then me fighting myself. I'm fighting this debt.
You're fighting your ego, really.
It's
slightly.
Yeah, but you want to be
ego. You're saying it's natural and it's innate, but I'm just saying
way bigger than the ego. That's putting yourself last.
It's a duty. Yeah, but as a man, you want to provide, but at the same time, as a man, even though you want to provide and it's very manly, it's also important to also be nurtured. You know what I mean? So even though I might feel like I've got a big debt, me speaking to the females around me and the males around me, and for them to give me advice and to nurture me so I can feel better about my situation rather than suffering with that by myself because I feel like I need to provide.
Yeah, because it's a pride thing. It's a pride thing.
To be honest, I really have to touch on this because obviously a lot of people is going to be watching this show, and I think I don't think I can ignore the fact that it's a spiritual thing. And for me, I just feel like a lot of guys they'll go into this place of darkness and don't know how to fight it. They try and fight it with physical things, the distractions, traveling. Yeah. But when you go back to that place, you're going back to that problem, and that problem's not anywhere. It's not in this location. It's in your mind.
So
it's
we're
in
saying
your
that
spirit.
we're like it's not fighting problems head
I think we need to fight the spiritual side of it.
Exactly.
It's a very spiritual side, and we cannot ignore the fact that this is a spiritual thing. You can do anything. You can go shopping. You can splash out. You can get all the girls in the world, but still that emptiness is there. Still you can't feel that, and you feel like the only way out and the only escape is to commit suicide.
You're right, and that comes from as well education from you.
Yeah.
Like we don't teach kids from
That's what I
you,
was saying. It's
like
the household.
How to
from
deal with
household,
emotion,
but not even household. I'm talking about schools as well. Where
I know,
in
but
school,
I feel like any education, any responsibility of the child's upbringing
of
is
course.
the household. School
But
is there to
then
further it.
you've got kids that are dragged up from parents that will not, you know what I mean? Saying
Yeah.
You've got kids raising kids as well,
So
so
you need
you
to
know.
put, even like no matter what institution they're in, it's like they've got to be taught from somewhere that take care of yourself, like know how to look after yourself, love yourself first, because who else can you look after if you can't look after yourself?
But I think bigger than not talking about like externals, I think literally if you can start to just teach the principle of just believing in yourself and just loving yourself from young. Obviously, I'm not talking from experience because I can't, but that has to have like an impact on
Positive.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
you know, some people don't just, not everyone commits suicide out of depression. I went to plumbing training with this guy, and he sat next to me, and in a long story short, he committed suicide to spite his parents.
Some people do
You
that.
know?
Yeah, some
So-
people do it with like their children,
And-
and they will commit suicide with their kids to spite the ex, and it's like they're like, well, if you're gonna spite me, I'm gonna take me and the kids. You have no kids, no nothing.
That's
You look
like
at them
deep-
ones,
that's-
it's normally
that's
the man.
like deeper
Yeah.
mental.
It is.
I think, yeah. When you
So
when you
selfish.
when you're taking it like and putting it onto somebody else.
Not even
like,
that, like there's suicide rings, fam, like these suicide rings that are like, it's like a game.
Oh, they're
yeah,
websites.
yeah.
They've got
Yeah.
their websites.
Yeah.
Like they're doing it
What?
for clout, literally. Like
Yeah.
it's a game. Like what is that?
What do we think
Bullshit,
about
man.
obviously the series, what is it, 13 Reasons Why?
Yeah.
I was having a discussion with my friend the other day, and we were saying that it kind of glamorizes suicide,
Yeah,
because
I've
when
not
she
watched it,
having,
I haven't
it's
watched
basically
it
about a
either.
girl that kills herself, and afterwards
She
she
leaves.
almost becomes like a celebrity.
Cult
Do you
figure.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she almost becomes like, oh my gosh, Hannah Baker, everyone kind of is
Yeah.
talking about her. And is that like a thing that is a problem, the glamorization of pain, the glamorization of
It's going to
suicide?
desensitize them,
No,
definitely. It
could
would desensitize them, definitely.
Yeah.
They become more used to seeing. If that's being, I don't watch this show, but if this is being programmed, so programming is a TV program, so this is being programmed. The whole reason of that programming is to create a reaction,
Yeah.
and the reaction is obviously to have a less of a feeling towards this, what we're talking about is suicide. And I think that's mad. Like, it's probably the wrong word to use in this context, but I think that's nuts. Like, I don't know why you want to put out a TV show.
But
even
their
remotely
reason was to
touching
like
on that.
to raise awareness of it. But when I'm watching it, I'm always thinking like it's almost like this girl becomes a celebrity. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, she kills herself and then
I genuinely think that just in general, TV and Instagram and social media and everything that's on those platforms gives us a false ideal of success or what we should deem success to be. So going on your point, I definitely think that it is spiritual, because if you're in a situation where you're failing in one way in this world, in a material way, and you feel like you're going to look like a failure, or everyone's going to look like you're doing something wrong, then you are going to want to commit suicide. That could be one reason. But if you understand that from a spiritual perspective, that sometimes the toughest situations and the darkest situations that you can be can actually be tests that can take you to the next level, then you look at everything that's a struggle, or you look at everything that's difficult as a lesson. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean with men in this society. I don't think that knowledge is accessible.
What people need to do is be as happy in real life as they are, as they perceive to be on social media. That's all it is.
But
Because you look as happy as Larry on your Instagram, and then but in real life you want to commit suicide.
We kind of have to suppress it, put it to one side, and maintain that false ideal of strength. So I think what happens is a lot of men will suffer in silence and be sad and have those emotions and not be able to express themselves, and it builds up and builds up and builds up and builds up. That's why I can understand why that is how society perceives men to be.
Yeah,
But that's what society's done. It's isolated people. Humans weren't designed to be on the internet all day checking Twitter. We were designed to be amongst our other humans and interacting. And that's what keeps your spirit happy and joyful.
definitely.
Talking about the social media thing, like, not that I've ever been in that kind of like deeper place, but for me, I felt like a couple of years ago, I was in a place where I was going through anxiety, mental health things. I was just feeling down, and like I felt like when I was on social media, it wasn't that I chose to take a step away from it. It was more like I was on there and I could feel my emotion. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to I didn't want to not be on Instagram, but being on Instagram made me more anxious. It literally made, I could feel myself like getting there.
If you're absorbing all this stuff constantly, it's
subliminally gonna happen.
You take it on, you take it on, you know, you don't even realise that you bear someone else's burden without even realising. People are always like, Rebecca, why are you so happy? Like, your energy's just, I'm like, yo, I don't have no social media, you know. I'm literally just doing me, like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I think just to add on, I agree with everyone's points, and I think it's all right to go on the internet and go on social media sometimes. I think it's all right to be around your friends and your family, but I think less of us spend time interacting and getting to know who we are and getting to know how we're growing and how we're changing. So that's why I spend so much time in nature, not because I'm just some crazy jungle nature boy, but because when I'm in nature, it's just me, and I can hear myself, and I can hear my own thoughts, and if I'm going through something negative, I can put it in its rightful place or acknowledge it or say, okay, that's why that happened. Let me respond like this. But because we're living in a hustle and bustle and we're always on our phones and we always want to be around people and we don't want to share silence with ourselves and space with ourselves, like you said, the glass begins to crack, and because you're so distracted, you don't even notice that it's cracking until it's broken.
Life is fucked up. We all know life is fucked up, but it's still an opportunity. And that's the one thing that we fail to realize. It's fucked up, but we have the opportunity to make it a whole lot better. So men out there, talk to somebody.
What do we think about the statistic apparently is meant to be as well? The biggest killer of men under the age of 45 is suicide. Why is that? Is that because it is the internet generation?
I think it's the internet.
You've written your life off before it's even begun. If you think about
that's
it,
what I'm thinking.
you still got possibly triple that span to go. So it's like, wow, why these guys feel the need before they've even lived to write it off?
And I'm sure I'm not sure, but I'm thinking, I'm sure it's like somebody that does commit suicide has attempted like twice before or something.
Oh, really?
Something to do with that anyway. But it's like, think about it, if it's already under 45, imagine how many times they've felt that low. Like, as they're young, you know what I'm saying?
But I think with that, you have to look at like what happens to a man before 45 generally. Like, what are the causes of it? So we usually get married before 45, like generally speaking. You get to a position in your career before 45. You probably would have adopted a mortgage by 45, so that's a level of debt. Maybe have kids. So you got to look at the contributors. Like, when you break it, there's bare things that could be causing this person to feel this way.
It's what we feed ourselves. Like I said, like the social media, the Instagram, the movies, the things we listen to. This is all a diet at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And it's a mental diet. We got to like look after that, because this is us. This is all we have. We have like one chance to live, literally.
I feel like women nowadays are losing touch with their men, and men are finding it harder to speak out with their problems because they think they're not going to be manly enough.
I don't cry, tears don't come from my eyes, but if I see a man crying, I'm not going to feel like he's a pussy because he's crying, B. Like, do your thing, bro. That's how you get your thing out. You get
and
me?
it's massively important to have a group of guys. Like, I think it's so nice when you've got a group of guys and you can tell that they're all just there for everyone's well-being. Like, you don't always get that.
way.
You don't always get a group of guys. Like, sometimes you've got a group of guys that are like, they're constantly onto man, but they don't want to ever, they're not ever there when they need that real support. So when you've got a group of guys and you can see that you actually care for man, you actually worry about man's health, like mental health, like that's important. Really? Like the people you put yourself around is so important.
And like to the men as well. Like, I'm not saying you don't, but you gotta just do check-ins. I check in with the boys, bro. I ring them. I just check in and say, yo, what? And they say, what? I said, nah. Just got 10 minutes for you. What you saying?
Yeah, of course.
I don't think we have enough of the support system with the guys, definitely. And like those conversations, like I said, meaningful conversation. I don't feel I have enough of that in us as men, anyway. Like, how are you? What going, bro? You good? Like, how's your health? How's your life? How's your relationship? Ask these questions rather than like what he can do for me or what I can do for them.
We need more. We need a platform, or we need platforms in the home that allow, and in relationships to allow men to express themselves.
Men always was like, yo, this is how much gal I got, this is how much money I've got, this is me, and it's always bravado, but never man there sitting down talking about real in-depth situations like family, like how to battle depression, like how to deal with your wife that's mourning. Most men, when that's happening, not a word.
Conversations like this can make ripples, and this is where it starts, man. So man.
What would we say to them? And final words, then. What would we say to people struggling with this issue, men or women, even?
Listen,
what would we say?
Talk, man. Just talk, man. It's all right. It's you know, you're not going to be seen as like weak or, you know, broken. Just talk to somebody before you even get to the point where you feel like you need to end your life.
I think you guys need to be brave, confident. Come speak to us, because we're all here for you to open up our hearts and help you be the best selves of yourselves.
There's always a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's always good in every bad situation. So just talk to someone, let it be known, and hopefully you can overcome it.
Yeah.
And try to think about people around you as well, because when you're in that space where you want to end it all, some people will, like people that are totally against suicide, like often religious people or whatever, can say that it's a selfish act. You know what I'm saying? So if you think about it like that, it's not a nice thing to think about, but think about the people that are going to miss you, like the people that it's going to affect, because when you're in that space, you're not thinking about any of that, you don't care.
But if you can get the generation that's coming up and be more talkative to them, and as a big man in the house, if you're in a party and there's some young youths at the party, take some time and go out and chat to the youths them. Tell them what your experience is, because when they can see as a man, okay, you're going through this and this is how you're responding, then they can look at the TV and look at all of these Instagram things and say, you know what, my uncle or my mum's brethren, he did that, so I'm going to do that, because I've seen that example in real life.
No, we're going to have to end it there, man. We'd love to hear you guys' thoughts about the talk that we had today, the conversation we had today.
Definitely.
Very deep conversation.
Very deep.
So comment, like, subscribe to YouTube channel, and so you can keep up to date with the
show.
Articulate.
Now we're going to see what the people of Birmingham say with Street Talk.
Mystery.
Hi, it's Robin and Cree again for Street Talk. Today we are asking people, did you know that suicide rates are higher in men than women? And why do you think this is?
Yeah, I'm fully aware of that. I know a lot of people that suffer. I know ITV have recently done a big thing on it, and I think it comes back to the fact that a lot of men bottle it up and they're less likely to talk maybe than women. So I reckon,
I didn't know that, but I wouldn't be surprised at that. The thing is male to female ratio is that females tend to direct themselves more towards having a family life and having children and settling down, whereas males like to live life a little bit longer and a little bit faster, which leads to a quicker destruction, doesn't it? So we tend to fall in depravity, money problems, drugs, all sorts of things a lot quicker than ladies, which is most likely that we are likely to fall within these suicidal rates and crime rates and drug rates and whatnot, because we're part of society, we play part of the game, and the lads are the ones who play the biggest role rather than females.
Do you think there's a big pressure on men in society to act this way?
If they can realise it, yes.
It's probably the general pressure of modern life. It's the lack of meaning of modern life. You know, religion, didn't realise it's a load of BS.
And do you think that's specifically just for men and that's why?
No, the pressures are on men. You know, you look, you know, like with posters everywhere telling you you've got to look like this, that and the other. You've got them a beard these days. And what if you can't grow one?
I didn't actually know that, but I'm not too sure, you know, why that is. Maybe men, you know, they come across confident and they come across like they're strong, but really mentally, I think men are a bit weaker than women are. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not a curse on men, but I think the women really are mentally quite strong.
I don't know, women have got it easy in life these days, haven't they?
Oh, do you think?
Things have progressed for women, whereas for men they haven't progressed, like socially, like on the work level, stuff like that. Just in general, society in general, for men it's got harder because there's less whatever put on them, and there's less pressure put on him to be the main guy anymore, so you get a lot of half-hearted men out there.
So what do you think, Robin? I think this topic is very sensitive for some people, however, I think it's really important to address it, especially in today's day and age, where we do have these pressures from social media. You know, men have pressures, you know, to be like going to the gym all the time, but looking good, you know what I'm saying? It's not just women that are pressured, and sometimes because of the norms and the generalizations think this is why, you know, the statistics are unbelievable. It's one of the highest rates for death in men in the UK. I think it just needs to be addressed, definitely.
Okay, so back to you guys.
Yo guys, today we have Kieran Frantic here, and he's the founder and owner of Smoking Bagels.
And No Hope.
And No Hope.
Come on, let's get it
Say
right.
no more.
What we
Alright,
saying?
let's get into this. Who is Kieran Frantic?
Kieran Frantic, that's a good question, you know. On basis by core, I'm a creator. That's what I do. So whether it's design, whether it's a marketing strategy, whether it's business, I create products, I create teams. I always say I create products, I create teams, and that creates money, and that creates memories. That's me.
When did you start?
I've been an entrepreneur from I think it's birthright, you know. Like from a youth, I've always been that kind of person to make something from nothing. Like to me, an entrepreneur is someone that makes something from nothing. But like doing the business thing on this scale, about 4 or 5 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, about 4 or 5 years.
So you're a businessman, and I heard you're a musician as well.
Yeah, we dabble, man. So anyone that knows me from everyone that knows me from Birmingham, that's how I came up in the music scene. We're talking back a day. This is before you.
You're still active and stuff with it now.
So you know what? We got back into the fun recently. So
Okay.
we do something every Friday. We do a hashtag Frantic Friday. We just do a
Alright.
freestyle every Friday morning, man. We just get a jiggy every Friday. That's how I start my weekend.
Say no more. I'm
That's what
gonna
we do.
check that out still,
Yeah, man,
man.
just straight
Which one you like
bars.
better? The business, what the business side of things are.
You know what? I enjoy both, but business is way more natural to me. So music is natural. I breathe it, I live it. But business, that's how I think. I think in strategy.
Did you always know, like, right, I want to own my own business. I want
like
move into entrepreneurship and stuff.
I think like literally like back in the day, I'm talking like being 11 years old, me and my business partner today was friends since then. We used to run the tuck shop at school. And when they put me in that tuck shop, I knew what I got. From when I'm managing products, I'm getting revenue from it, there's profit margin. That's what I'm seeing it at 10, 11.
I hear you.
I'm calculating that, you get me?
So it was embedded in you from the beginning.
They should never put me in that tuck shop, bro. That man should never put me in that tuck shop.
You say man was shutting sweets?
Bro, I was shutting sweets, taking the profit, I'm paying the stuff. That way.
What's the average day for Kieran Frantic? What's your Monday like?
A Monday, see, that's a bad day to pick. That's my day off. The only day I have off is
day
Monday.
off, okay.
Yeah,
do you know what? You know what's mad? Monday's my day off as well.
Come on, bro. Like, we don't do all this hard work to be working on a Monday. No disrespect.
Tuesday, I start Tuesday. Like, literally,
That way.
Monday, it's like, it's this time for me to have my lie-in.
You get me? I'm reflecting. That's when I'm opening my post. I'm going through email. I'm just sitting back and just trying to figure it out. It depends on my days. My days are so varied because I've got both businesses. So it could be emails, paying creditors, sorting out debtors. It could be going through new proposals. People are always offering me opportunities, and which ones are good and which ones are bad. Organising the team because I've got staff that work for me, and that comes with its own problems because someone can ring up and say I'm sick today. Someone can ring up and say I'm going to be late today, and that comes with its own problems. Managing inventory, so I've got a shop that has stock. So, my whole day is just. It's a lot about being reactive. As much as I do like plan out for things and I have like my own targets I want to get each day, I have to react because the truth of it is I'm not a big business.
Yeah,
I'm a small business, so that means a lot of times you have to be thinking on your feet. You get me?
I hear that.
There's no average day basically. Long story short, there's no average day.
I hear that fully.
You get me?
No average day. Always working, B.
Yeah.
So how did you what's the ethos behind No Hope?
Okay, cool. So
and when did it start?
Yeah, so No Hope was the first business I launched properly. I've had other ideas. The first one I launched. At the time I was working full time. I used to work in banking industry.
Okay.
I was managing businesses that turn over 2 million commercial businesses. So I'm doing that every day, knowing I've got this entrepreneur spirit inside me. I'm like, yo, this is killing me, man. I can see the actual pattern of how they made this dough.
Yeah.
And there's people like you and me, they've come from nothing. Maybe done a bit of window cleaning and took a bit of the company or literal real labours, you get me?
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, there's got to be a way out of this, innit? So back to the music. So I was I think at the time I was writing down lyrics, just trying to express how I'm feeling, just trying to make sense of what's going on. And I was trying to think of a song title. I was just at first it was bright thoughts, dark thoughts, bright ideas.
Okay. And
I was it's dead. As a No Hope kind of summarized that whole thing, just the prospect of seeing the light through the dark, you get me?
Yeah.
So it's No Hope, it's KNOW,
yeah,
it's No Hope, you see it?
Yeah.
but it's like it's understanding and believing in yourself and being the power and how that can get you to the next level.
100%.
And then No Hope freed me from work. That's why I quit work because of No Hope. So it's like a prophecy that came true. You get what I'm trying to say? Like I believed in it, and then it freed me.
So for the youth out there watching right now, do you have any last tips, especially the ones who want to start their own businesses?
Yeah, if you want to start your own business, the first thing is just don't be afraid to fail. And a big man thing, I learned so much from what I've got wrong, but I won't make that mistake again.
Yeah,
I will never make that mistake again.
Would you say taking risks
take
is
risks,
a big part of it?
Shout out, take risks and prosper from Bro. That's the number one thing. Take risks, take the risk. I approach things fearlessly.
Yeah.
And when I get into it, if it gets deep, I get out of it.
Yeah.
But I get into it. I don't ever think about, should I do this or should I do it? I get into it knee deep. I'm literally the geezer that I leave on the front. I will go to the top of the mountain and say, yo, it's all blessed over here. Everyone come with me.
We're going to go for some quick fire round questions. Are you ready?
Yeah, ready.
Has to be quick.
I'm fat.
Back your breast.
Back it.
Beauty or brains?
Brains.
Money or assets?
Assets.
Spender or saver?
Both.
Can't do both.
I splash a little, spend a little, save a little.
Spender or saver?
Saver then.
Mercs or BM?
BM, you know. I don't get this Mercs thing. I'm a proper BM rear-wheel drive. I don't get this Mercs thing.
We got a problem. All right, listen. Stormzy or Skepta?
Skepta.
Yeah.
I'm foundation, bro.
Okay.
I'm fine. Respect to Stormzy, but I've been here from day, man. Like, Skepta, bro.
All right, future projects.
Future projects
that's coming up now.
All right, calm.
That you can give us.
Yeah.
Look forward to.
Definitely. So I'm working on, for No Hope, I've got the Spring Summer collection.
Okay.
So go to nohope.co.uk.
Okay.
For Smoking Bagels, I'm about to do the Smoking Bagels tour. So that's where we take the food across the UK in our food van. I'm booked up at some big festivals. One with gigs, that's in June. Junction 13 Festival. I mean, I'm in London, Birmingham, Nottingham, Bristol. I'm everywhere with that one. And then for myself personally, I'm working on a CD.
All right.
Doing a CD called Hope Dealer Volume 1.
Hope Dealer, yeah?
Yeah.
Respect it.
Hope Dealer Volume 1. That's a 9-track EP.
Okay.
It's something that you ain't heard before, man, in terms of it's a whole different perspective to this real thing. It's from my perspective. It's from what I've been through. It's the business. It's how to manage and organize and circulate your team. It's how to get from A to B and then going through all the shit that we go through. So, yeah, Hope Dealer Volume 1 because there's going to be a Volume 2.
Well, it was good speaking to you, man, and getting to know a bit of, Kieran Frantic.
Yeah, a lot of people say that they don't really get to know too much. I keep myself to myself, you see me?
Yeah,
but it's good to be in a space, man. Articul8 is the best place for it.
Come on, listen. Are you ready to play Game Time now, bro?
Born ready, G?
Yeah?
Come on.
Let's get into it.
Welcome to Game Time. This is Truth or Burn. So basically what we have here is some very, 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 very hot chili sauce with nachos. What the presenter and our guest have to do is we're going to ask the guest 5 questions. He has to choose to either answer or pass. If he passes, he has to eat one of this, death thing. If he answers, our presenter has to eat the death bowl. So you have 10 seconds to answer each question. If you do not answer in 10 seconds, you automatically get burned. If the guest disqualifies or chooses to burn, they must fully submerge a spiced nacho into the hot sauce and eat it. So that's that then. Let's do this, man. Are you ready? Are you ready? Right, question 1. Who in your shop smells the worst?
Easy. Jack.
Sorry.
Sorry, Jack.
Sorry, Jack. A big scoop. No, you need to get the flakes.
What?
The flakes, the chili flakes. There's chili flakes.
It's all love,
get the flakes.
Jack, it's all love, but this is for
Jack.
This is for the
show. You get me?
Jack, me and you are beef.
Whoever you are, Jack, like eat it, eat it, eat it. Go, 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 go. No, it's not. It's just the right amount.
That, I didn't
all right. Good?
How you feeling, man?
Not good? Milk. We need milk. We need milk on the set.
Boy, hot God. Can I have an extra cup?
Yeah, you get a little cup.
I mean, we have a presenter down. Cop. There you go, sir. Should we move on to the next question while he dies in the corner? Okay. Who was the last person that tried to? Yeah, I'm good. Right. Well, who was the last person that tried to slide in your DMs? You want to bait them out?
Yeah, let's go on.
Oh wow! Backed out the phone. Let's have
it.
I mean, it might be me, so I'm joking. It's not me.
Well, the last DM I got.
Last girl that tried to slide in your DMs.
It's boring. Sorry, people. It's Sasha Everton. It's got a company called Happy Hair Box, which is more than any product.
Oh, like.
There you go. My bro.
I'm so sorry about this.
My bro.
I'm just so sorry. Like.
You got winners in this world.
And he really took another big scoop.
Who is that? Who did you say DMG?
Sasha Everton.
I'm just adding all the people to the
He's coming for you, man. Okay. Oh. Okay, next question. Who was the worst booking you've taken this year for smoking bagels and why?
Worst booking I took, my party package. Sorry, my party package.
Oh.
I'll just say it straight.
Why?
Yo, don't book smoking bagels and book Domino's pizza at the same event. It's dead.
Only book one.
Yo,
this one.
Independent thing, yeah?
Well, you know what that means.
But you lot are cheating.
It's the questions on the.
Let's have a meeting about this. It's not good.
It's the questions, man. I'm afraid to say if he answers, then.
Yo,
then.
Are you ready? What was the review? Did it truth or bad? How you feeling? I got two questions. I might go.
Yeah, he's got 2 more questions. So. And you take a big thing every time.
What did you the one told me?
Sorry.
tea.
Okay, next question. Who is the worst grime artist you've ever done a set with?
I ain't doing that one. You know what it is?
Big. No, more than that, because he took loads. Submerge. Get the flakes. Get the flakes. Get the flakes. More than that, more. You need more, like. Yeah, scoop it up.
Yo, that's me. That's me.
You need to submerge. Oh.
And all the reason I'm not answering you.
Sorry.
I'm team better than you.
We have stripping on set. We have stripping on set. Right, last question. Last question. Where is the weirdest place you've had sex?
The weirdest?
Weirdest.
I'd eat something, man.
Is it that bad? That bad?
Yo, it's a frantic lifestyle, isn't it?
Frantic lifestyle, right. Scoop it up then. Scoop it up. How we doing?
Hot, you know.
That's you.
Scoop up more than that. Come.
Oh, look, I'm not tripping there.
Yep, get that.
It's not light, you know.
Get that. Get it. Get it. Yes. Right, well, guys, that's it then. I'm gonna stand here in my coolness.
It's the white side of me. That's what it comes down to. Serious.
What's your excuse?
I think I won, didn't I?
Oh yeah. We have a winner. Our winner is Kieran Frantic. What Terrell did do. He did well. But yeah, that's it then, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe on all of our YouTube channels and all of our social medias and everything on the planet. He's still.
He is hot, man.
I'm tuning in next week for more Articul8 and
Yes.
these mad challenges.
That way.
Take care.
Take care.